Dear students, now we are going to learn in detail about gravitation and space science. Prologue. Fundamental forces of nature are gravitational, electromagnetic and nuclear forces. Nuclear forces can be classified into two types. One is strong, another one is weak. Gravitational force is weakest among them. It plays an important role in birth of star, controlling orbits and evolution of universe. Galileo made a systematic study of freely falling bodies. Then you can see the following illustration. Next topic is history of law of gravitation. Isaac Newton was a student of Trinity College at Cambridge in England. In 1665, the college was closed due to plague. Newton went home and thinks about motion of planets and moon. One day Newton sat under an apple tree and had tea with friends. He saw an apple falling to ground. He thinks about falling bodies. He concluded that gravitational force attracts apple to earth. Similarly, same force attracts moon and keeping it in orbit. Newton calculated centripetal acceleration by assuming moon's orbit to be circular. Video is given here. Please watch it. Next, determination of centripetal acceleration. Acceleration due to gravity on the Earth's surface g equal to 9.8 meter per second square. Centripetal acceleration on the moon AC equal to v square by r, where r is the radius of orbit of moon, which value is 3.84 into 10 to the power of 8 meter. V is the speed of the moon. Time period of revolution of the moon around earth t equal to 27.3 days. Hence v equal to 2 pi r by t. If we substitute the value of v and t in this equation, we will get v equal to 2 pi into 3.84 into 10 to the power of 8 by 27.3 into 24 into 60 into 60, which is equal to 1.02 into 10 to the power of 3 meter per second. Therefore, we will get Az equal to v square by r equal to 1.02 into 10 to the power of 3 whole square by 3.84 into 10 to the power of 8. Finally, we get the Az value is 2.7 into 10 to the power of minus 3 meter per second square. You can also see the diagram here. Newton assumed that both moon and apple are accelerated towards the center of earth, but their motions differ because moon has a tangential velocity whereas apple does not have. He found AC was less than g. Hence, force produced due to gravitational attraction of earth decreases with increase in distance from the center of earth. AC by g equal to 1 by small r square by 1 by capital R square, which is equal to capital R by small r the whole square equal to 1 by 60 the whole square, which is equal to 1 by 3600. Finally, AC value is g by 3600 equal to 9.8 by 3600. Finally, we get the value of Az equal to 2.7 into 10 to the power of minus 3 meter per second square. Newton's law of gravitation. The law says that every particle of matter in the universe attracts every other particle with a force which is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Next, derivation of Newton's law. Masses small m1 and m2 distance r. The gravitational force between them is F is directly proportional to m1 m2. F is inversely proportional to the square of the distance, hence capital F is directly proportional to small m1 small m2 by small r square. F equal to G into m1 m2 by r square, where G is the universal gravitational constant, which value is 6.67 into 10 to the power of minus 11 Newton meter square kilogram power minus 2. If m1 equal to m2 equal to 1 kilogram and r equal to 1 m, then F equal to G. Its dimensional formula is m power minus 1 L power 3 T power minus 2. Special features of the law. Gravitational force between two bodies is an action and a reaction pair. Gravitational force is very small in case of lighter body, whereas in the case of massive body it is appreciable. Gravitational force between the sun and earth is of the order of 10 to the power of 27 n.
So let us start with what is gravitation. All of us would have observed such phenomenon like an apple falling down the tree to the surface of the ground. But there is a mystery behind what makes the apple fall to the ground. Similarly, you would have seen that when you throw a ball up, it comes back and falls in your hand. Similarly, in a rainy season, the raindrops, that is the water droplets, fall towards the ground. If you see, in all these phenomena, there is some force which is responsible for the objects falling towards the surface of the earth. So these were the examples which we see around us in the terrestrial world. Even if you see in the universe, if you see the planetary motion, there is some force which holds the planets in a particular orbit. We all know that all the planets move in a particular orbit. So this specific orbit of the planets are also held by certain kind of forces. So gravitation is responsible for all such phenomena. Gravitation is nothing but a force which is exerted by the surface of the earth. So in this chapter, we will study in detail all the principles of gravitation. We'll see how was the law of gravitation brought into the picture of science, and we'll study all the planetary motion as well. So let us go ahead and see what made the origin of gravitation. Introducing Newton's view towards gravitation. So Newton was the scientist who actually studied about gravitation. In fact, he was the one who thought about what is gravitation, and he defined the force of gravitation. So how did this idea click Newton? It once happened that Newton was having a cup of tea in his garden when he saw an apple falling down the tree to the ground. So Newton thought, what made this apple fall to the ground? He did lots of studies and investigations. He performed several experiments and finally concluded that there was a force which is exerted by the surface of the earth, because of which the apple gets attracted towards the surface of the earth and falls towards it. But then, when he performed so many experiments, he concluded that it was not only the surface of the earth which exerts force on an object. In the entire universe, all the objects exert a force on another object. That means all the objects in this universe attract every other object with a force. So this force was nothing but the force of gravitation. So this is how Newton deduced the idea of gravitation, and he defined the force of gravitation, which later came to be known as the famous universal law of gravitation. So we'll start this chapter with universal law of gravitation. So universal law of gravitation. What does this law states? See, if you see the name of the law, it is universal. That means it is true for everything. Something which is universal is something which is applicable to all the objects in this universe. So this law states that every body in the universe attracts every other body with a force which is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. That means that any object which you see around us or which you can think of in this entire universe attracts every other body. So there is a force of attraction between any two bodies in this universe, and this force of attraction is directly proportional to the product of their masses. That means the product of the masses of the two bodies, and it is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. What do you mean by directly proportional and inversely proportional? When I say directly proportional, I mean that if the product of the masses increases, the force will also increase. When I say inversely proportional, I mean if the square of the distance increases, the force will decrease. That means if two objects are directly proportional, that means the two objects increase or decrease together. Similarly, if two quantities are inversely proportional, that means if one quantity increases, the other quantity decreases. So let us see. Let us suppose we have two objects. Say this is a ball of mass m1 and this is a box of mass m2. Now according to universal law of gravitation, even these two objects tends to attract each other with a force, say F, let that force be F, which is directly proportional to the product of the masses, that is m1, m2, and it is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. So we considered m1 and m2 are two masses. Let us suppose the distance between them is r. Then the force of attraction between them is directly proportional to the product of the masses. That means if m1 or m2 increases, this force will also increase. Similarly, it is inversely proportional to the square of the distance. That means closer these two objects come, the force will be more, because as close as they come, the value of r will decrease. Now value of r decreases means the value of F will increase. So this was basically the universal law of gravitation, which was given by Newton, and it holds true universally for all the objects in this universe. Now let us see the mathematical expression for the universal law of gravitation. Just now I told you in the previous slide that the force of gravitation is directly proportional to the product of the masses, that is m1, m2, and it is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between them. Now we know that means from these two we can say that force is directly proportional to m1, m2 divided by r square, correct? Now to convert this proportional to an equality, we need to introduce a constant. That is, we can write this as F is equal to some constant into m1, m2 by r square, right? Now what is this constant? This constant is nothing but capital G, that is the universal gravitational constant. So we say that force is equal to G m1 m2 by r square, where G is known as the universal gravitational constant and it is universally constant, and that means its value, the value of G, remains constant everywhere in this universe. This value will never change. So this is basically the mathematical expression of the universal law of gravitation, where G is the universal gravitational constant, m1, m2 are the masses of the two bodies, and r is the distance between them.
Next, acceleration due to gravity, which is small g. Galileo makes systematic study of motion of a body under the gravity of Earth. He dropped various objects from the leaning tower of Pisa and observed. He concluded, in the absence of air, all bodies will fall at the same rate. Air resistance slows down a paper or parachute. Heavy stone and parachute dropped where there is no air, both will reach ground at the same rate. Video is given here. Please watch it.
All objects, when dropped from a height, fall towards the earth. This happens due to the gravitational force exerted by the earth on the object. Suppose you drop simultaneously a small stone and a cotton ball of the same size from a height. Which of the two will reach the ground first? We see that the stone reaches the ground earlier than the cotton ball. So, we may falsely conclude that the heavier objects fall faster than the lighter ones. That is, the acceleration produced in heavier objects is more than in lighter objects. Galileo showed that all bodies, whether light or heavy, fall at the same speed towards the earth. Galileo explained that the lighter bodies fall at a slower rate due to the resistance of the air. Later, Robert Boyle proved this experimentally. He placed a coin and a feather in a long glass tube and evacuated it with the help of a vacuum pump. Robert Boyle observed that when the tube was inverted, both the coin and the feather reached the bottom of the tube at the same time. Thus, he concluded that the acceleration produced in all the freely falling bodies is the same and does not depend upon the mass of the falling body.
Velocity of freely falling body under gravity increases at a constant rate, that is, with a constant acceleration. The acceleration produced in a body on account of the force of gravity is called acceleration due to gravity. Next, acceleration due to gravity at the surface of the earth. You can see the diagram. Small m is the mass of body, capital R is the distance from center, that means radius. Gravitational force by body, capital F equal to G capital M small m by capital R square, which is the equation 1, where capital M is the mass of earth. From Newton's second law, force F equal to mg, which is the equation number 2, equating two forces, 1 equal to 2, G capital M small m by capital R square equal to small m small g. Hence, G equal to Gm by R square. Next, mass of the earth. From the expression G equal to Gm by R square, we can calculate the mass of earth, which is capital M equal to G R square by G, which is equal to 9.8 into 6.38 into 10 to the power of 6 the whole square by 6.67 into 10 to the power of minus 11. Finally, the value m is 5.98 into 10 to the power of 24 kilogram. Video is given here. Please watch it.
Acceleration due to gravity of the earth. What is this? It is the acceleration experienced by a body during its free fall due to the gravitational force exerted by the earth. So till now we saw that there is a force which is exerted by any two bodies on this universe. So every object, when it falls freely under the action of no other force, it is attracted by the surface of the earth. So that force is nothing but the force of gravity. Now it says that the acceleration experienced by the body when it falls freely. For example, let us consider the example of the apple falling down the tree. Now, when this apple is actually falling down from the tree, in this journey, there is no external force on this apple. There is only the force which is exerted by the surface of the earth. So, during this motion, this apple is falling. It is falling with some velocity. Therefore, it must be having some acceleration. So, this value of acceleration is nothing but the acceleration due to gravity, because this acceleration is caused due to the gravitational force exerted by the earth. So you understood what is acceleration due to gravity? It is the acceleration in an object due to the force exerted by the earth. It is generally denoted by small g. So don't get confused. Capital G is used to represent universal gravitational constant and small g is used to represent acceleration due to gravity. So please be very clear with what is small g and what is capital G. I hope you understood it. Universal gravitational constant is nothing but a constant in the universal law of gravitation, whose value remains the same throughout the entire universe. Whereas small g is the acceleration due to gravity. It is the acceleration in any object during its free fall due to the gravitational force exerted by the earth. Now we will study acceleration due to gravity in more detail. The next thing which we will study is an expression for acceleration due to gravity. That means how do we get the value of, or how do we evaluate acceleration due to gravity. Now let us suppose this is the earth. So the earth is revolving. So this is the surface of the earth. This is the earth's surface and this is the center of the earth. Right. Now let us suppose I need to calculate the value of acceleration due to gravity. Now whatever objects we see around us, they are above the surface of the earth and they gets attracted towards the surface of the earth. Now let us consider that we have a body, we have any body of mass m. Let us say I have any body of mass m. Now what would be the force of gravitation between mass m and earth? So the force of gravitation between this object of mass m and the earth will be F is equal to G m1 m2 by r square. Now here m1 is the mass of that body, m2 would be the mass of the earth divided by r square, that is the distance of the object from the earth. So whenever we measure the distance from the earth, we measure the distance from the center of the earth. So let us suppose if the body is here, so we will measure the distance from here. In this case, for the time being, we are considering that this object is very near to the surface of the earth. So we say that the distance between that object and the center of the earth is nothing but the radius of the earth. Because here we are assuming that the object is placed somewhere very close to the surface of the earth. So this r will become re square. So g m1 m2 by r square, right? Now we already knew from our previous studies or from our studies of Newton's laws, we knew from Newton's second law. Try to quickly recall Newton's second law. Newton's second law defined force. It said force is equal to mass into acceleration, right? This was the statement of Newton's second law. Now, if you compare this equation with Newton's second law, that is with this equation, what will you find? Compare this equation with this equation. You will see that force is equal to mass into gme divided by re square. This is what you have basically in this equation number 1, right? So what is this? Force is equal to mass into acceleration. That means this quantity is nothing but it represents acceleration. Now this quantity would be the acceleration due to the force of gravitation. Why? Because this F is nothing but the force of gravitation acting on the mass m. So therefore small g, that is acceleration due to gravity, is gme divided by re square. So this is the expression for acceleration due to gravity. Therefore, whenever we know the values of g, me and re, we can calculate the value of acceleration due to gravity. So in this case, I gave you the example considering that an object is placed very near to the surface of the earth. In that case, how do we calculate the value of acceleration due to gravity? Now gradually we will try to find out an expression for acceleration due to gravity for an object which is above the surface of the earth. Similarly, for an object which is below the surface of the earth. We will see those cases one by one in detail. So here we learned that G is equal to capital G ME divided by RE square.
In addition, there are two problems for your concept clarity, which was solved one. You can go through it. Then points to remember. You can go through the points to remember for your clarification. Then activity. You have two problems for test your skills. So solve it carefully. Finally, some of the questions were given. Answer them carefully. Thank you.